Do you know the importance of keeping quiet? Have you any idea how many people have ruined their own lives, their future, their opportunities, or even their dreams simply because they didn't know how to keep their mouths shut? Some get too excited when they're happy, revealing all their plans and sharing every detail of their lives. Then when things don't work out, they're left wondering what went wrong. Others, in moments of anger and frustration, say things they shouldn't. The key to avoiding this is learning to keep quiet. Zeno of Citium, the founder of Stoicism, said that we have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. We should listen twice as much as we speak. Today, we'll explore practices that will help you grow in silence. But first, this video has reached you because someone before you subscribed to our channel, liked it, and left a comment. Do the same, and don't break the chain. Learn to keep quiet. From the moment we're born, we're encouraged to express ourselves, and our first words are celebrated by our parents or guardians. Yet we seldom learn that silence is also a powerful form of communication. Staying silent can reveal a lot about you, your intentions and your personality, demonstrating respect for people and your surroundings. It can attract more attention than talking non-stop or trying to convince someone who doesn't want to listen. When you talk too much, especially without purpose or clarity, you diminish your power. Instead of projecting authority or expertise, you achieve the opposite, causing others to respect and value you less. Replacing the urge to speak with the desire to listen will unlock the door to your personal growth. In our social relationships, we can apply the Stoic virtues of temperance and wisdom to enhance and reduce many of our relationship challenges. Take the case of Carlos and Alex, both salesmen with different approaches. Carlos is chatty, while Alex prefers to listen more. When a customer walks into the store, Carlos is quick to attend to them and starts offering discounts the customer hasn't even asked for. This leads to Carlos earning less commission, and often the customer wasn't even looking for a discount, but was ready to buy. But Carlos talks so much that he makes the customer back out of the purchase. Alex, on the other hand, knows how to sell more and earn more. He also approaches customers promptly, but does things differently. He listens more and speaks only at the right time. Alex asks smart questions to find out what the customer really needs, allowing him to sell the right product and close many deals. In sales, the secret is to talk less and listen more to what the customer wants. This principle not only improves sales but can be applied to many other aspects of life. Here's a simple exercise for you to reflect on today. Think of 3 things you've lost in life because you couldn't keep quiet, because you couldn't contain yourself. Just as someone develops the habit of talking too much and becomes a compulsive chatterbox, they can also develop the habit of learning to listen. How? By talking less. Stoicism teaches us self-development and mental training so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. To achieve this, you must realize that the more you talk, the more you weaken yourself, while the more you listen, the stronger you become. For example, if Carlos practiced temperance, he wouldn't rush to offer discounts right away. He would learn to wait a bit and see what the customer really wants before speaking. Temperance is like a remote control for our reactions. It tells us not to overdo things, whether talking too much or acting impulsively. Wisdom, on the other hand, is like a map that shows us the best path forward, helping us understand when and how to act or speak. Alex is already on this path. He listens to customers, asks smart questions, and only then offers what the customer needs. He uses wisdom to discern the right moment to speak. A practical exercise we can do to help us speak less while developing temperance and wisdom is anchoring. Anchoring is a powerful technique for creating and strengthening mental associations between external stimuli and internal responses. For example, Someone with a fear of cockroaches feels anxious and terrified just hearing the word cockroach because they've created a mental association that links the word to feelings of horror. The same goes for positive things. Think of chocolate. If you like it, your mouth might be watering right now. Anchoring can help us build mental associations that encourage silence. Start by choosing an anchor, such as a physical object like a wristband or a phone background that says, "Speak less." Each time you grab your phone or glance at the wristband, you establish a connection between the anchor and a feeling of silence, training your brain to associate this stimulus with calm and quiet. Practice this often to get the hang of it. Then, when you're in a conversation and feel the urge to talk too much, use this reminder. It will help you pause, breathe, and choose to listen rather than speak. Remembering that silence is a powerful form of communication can transform how you interact with others. Besides improving your listening, you'll find that by talking less, your words carry more weight and impact when you choose to use them. You might be surprised to discover that the more you listen, the more you can learn and truly connect with others. Always remember this: silence is your first language. Learn to master it. Don't share your plans. "Come here, let me tell you about my project." "Friend, I'm almost certain I'm going to start this or that. It's not 100% confirmed yet, but I'll share it with you." Sharing your dreams and projects before they're realized can seem like seeking support and motivation, but it often backfires. Psychologists have discovered over time that people who frequently talk about their plans before acting are the ones least likely to follow through. Those who announce plans to start a business, change habits, write a book, or get a new job often stay stuck for a long time without achieving anything. This happens because when we share our goals, our brains release a satisfaction hormone, making us feel as if we've already accomplished them. This can lower your motivation to go after your goals and make them a reality. If you want to reach your goals, keep them to yourself and focus on taking the first step. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most famous Roman emperors and a Stoic philosopher, warned us that if we trust someone without knowing if they deserve that trust, the mistake is ours. Sometimes, even unintentionally, people can sabotage us when we share our plans. They may criticize or discourage your ideas, underestimate your abilities, or even cruelly point out your flaws, causing you to doubt yourself and abandon your plans. Understand that it's impossible to grow anywhere in the world without being hated by those who are stuck. When you keep quiet, people are left guessing your next moves, and no one sabotages what they don't know exists. Seneca, statesman and Stoic philosopher, wrote in his letters on friendship about the importance of carefully choosing those with whom to share dreams. "A true friend," he says, "sincerely cheers for your success, and is someone with whom you can safely share your plans." However, not all people, even those closest to us, are like that. That's why it's important not to fall into the trap of naivety and to evaluate the character of those worthy of trust. It's wonderful to share when something good happens or when you've achieved a dream, but it's crucial to understand whom and when to share it with. Your victories will speak for themselves when you reach them, and everyone will know. So choose to share your dreams only with those who truly support and encourage you to go further. Guard your opinion. Stoicism provides a valuable perspective, teaching us to broaden our views beyond our own and to consider life from different angles. One of the most liberating lessons from Stoicism is the ability to choose not to express our opinions, shielding ourselves from the dictatorship of response. We're often confronted with questions like, who do you think will win Big Brother this year? What do you think of the artist's body who paraded during Carnival? What's your take on the biggest topic of the week? Stoicism teaches us a powerful alternative: silence, or the conscious choice not to form an opinion on these matters. As Emperor Marcus Aurelius reminds us in *Meditations*, Every minute spent worrying about someone else's life is a minute less devoted to our own lives and moral development. This philosophy applies not only to superficial discussions, but also to interactions within our most intimate circles. Every time you offer unsolicited opinions about your sibling's life, the color of the car your neighbor bought, or how your nephew is raised, you're involving yourself in problems beyond your control. Stoicism invites us to focus on our own lives, suggesting that if we have extra time and energy, we should use it to help others instead of judging them harshly. This approach not only helps us cultivate a richer and more peaceful inner life, but also teaches us to value positive action over empty criticism, fostering an environment of support and mutual growth. When we recognize that we can control our opinions, we understand that we can control what we say. Practice the skill of thinking absolutely nothing about a given situation and embrace the freedom of not needing to have an opinion on everything happening around you. Don't let these events disturb you. As Marcus Aurelius affirms, we have the power to form no opinion about a thing and not to let our soul be troubled, for things themselves have no natural ability to shape our judgments. Limit access to meddlesome people. People rarely ask if we want or need their opinions. They simply express them. They tend to speak their minds without much thought or reflection, and when confronted, they defend their behavior as honest and sincere. Victor Hugo, the French poet and novelist, once wrote, "Know that frankness is not about saying everything you think, but thinking about everything you say." Honesty and frankness have nothing to do with disrespect. Therefore, it's crucial to set clear boundaries in our relationships. Those who speak without thinking often end up saying the wrong things to the wrong people, at the wrong times and places, and about the wrong topics. Passively waiting for someone to recognize and respect your personal boundaries without you clearly communicating them can lead to endless waiting and disappointment. It's up to you to establish these limits in a polite and respectful manner. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic philosophers, offered wise advice that's perfectly applicable to these situations. When speaking to a student struggling with his brother's behavior, he advised, "Everything has two handles, one by which you can carry it, and another by which you cannot." This means that while we cannot control others' behavior, we can choose how we respond to it. When someone meddles too much in your life or says things they shouldn't, you can't control what they do, but can control how you respond. One approach is to have a private conversation, being sincere and expressing that their behavior is unacceptable because it affects your relationship and may lead to a distancing of the friendship. This stance helps protect your personal space and teaches others how to interact with you respectfully. Setting boundaries is an act of self-respect and a way to foster healthier, more balanced relationships. We must recognize there's a limit to what we should tolerate and remain committed to it. Epictetus also likens this to smoke in a house. Has someone made smoke in the house? If it's a moderate amount of smoke, I stay. If it's too much, I leave. If you act in this way, it's time to reconsider and invest your time in personal growth. You don't need to justify yourself. Silence carries such deep wisdom that it becomes the best response in certain situations. Sometimes we feel the urge to explain ourselves, seeking acceptance, wanting to please, or to form connections. Yet many of the problems in our lives are caused by not keeping our tongues still. A great example of this is Vanessa. After struggling with debt and financial issues, she committed herself to learning about financial education. She paid off her debts, organized her finances, and even started investing. After a successful month, she went out with colleagues and shared that she was finally financially stable and debt-free. But then things began to change for her. Over time, Vanessa noticed she was being excluded from new projects. Her colleagues, assuming she was now in a better financial situation, redirected opportunities that could have gone to her to others instead. In other words, Vanessa's oversharing led to her losing several jobs and, consequently, affected her newly achieved financial stability. Sometimes, we want to show others how we're living and talk freely about our finances, our private lives as couples, and what happens behind closed doors. We want to show the world how happy and well we are, or conversely, express our dissatisfaction and sadness without considering the consequences. Epictetus once said, "If you drink water, don't keep saying that you drink water for no reason at all." This means that it's unnecessary to tell others about everything we do in life. We should live simply and authentically without seeking approval or recognition from others. In this sense, Epictetus teaches us the importance of keeping some things to ourselves and not sharing every detail of our lives. Being discreet and keeping certain choices private can strengthen our character. You don't always have to explain your actions. Sometimes staying quiet is the best answer. Speaking too little or too much isn't ideal. Balance is key. Speaking too little can close doors because people may think you're not interested or involved. On the other hand, speaking too much can exhaust others and lead to undesired situations like Vanessa's. Finding the middle ground is essential. It's important to know when to speak and when to keep silent, balancing the desire to express ourselves with the wisdom of keeping certain things private. This helps us build healthy relationships and avoid unnecessary problems. Don't speak impulsively. There's a lesser-known story about Plato. Faced with a situation that made him very angry, he realized he was too emotional to handle the problem fairly. So he asked his servant to resolve the issue instead. This moment shows that even a great philosopher like Plato understood the importance of controlling emotions to make the right decisions. If you don't control your silence, you'll be a slave to your words. Some people, in their happiness, reveal their plans that should be kept private until they happen or until nothing can go wrong, or they make promises, giving their word on things they can't fulfill. Others talk excessively when they're angry, and in those moments, most people lose control of their tongues and end up saying things that hurt. Understand that once words are spoken, they can't be taken back. Sometimes the wounds they cause are immense. Even in an argument, if someone hurts you, it's better to leave the other side remorseful than deeply wounded. Expressing all your anger to hurt someone else won't heal your wound. It'll only make it deeper. When you hold your tongue and remain silent, understand that it's a valuable moment to absorb information and organize your thoughts before responding. Some experiences and emotions are best processed internally rather than impulsively expressed. Silence is a powerful tool. It creates space to absorb information, reflect and organize thoughts before expressing them. Staying silent allows you to think more clearly without the distractions of the internal noise that comes with the constant need to speak. Thus, by choosing silence in moments of strong emotion, you gain time to calmly evaluate the situation and respond more thoughtfully and effectively. Do I really want to hurt someone I love? Can I fulfill what I'm promising to do? Emotion is like a drug that affects our ability to reason, both in negative and positive moments. If we lack self-control, we wander around completely altered by our emotions, giving in to every emotional impulse. When we practice silence, we can better understand our thoughts and emotions, leading to greater personal and spiritual growth. Growing silently using Stoicism is a journey of self-improvement that teaches us the value of staying quiet, listening more, and reflecting deeply before acting. I admit that this is one of the most challenging Stoic practices for me, but its difficulty is proportional to the benefits it brings to our lives. I've lost many things simply because I didn't know how to keep my mouth shut. I sincerely hope this video and Stoic knowledge help bring this practice into your life. And if you've made it this far, leave a comment saying gratitude. Thank you for watching.